Welcome back to Smoking Sports. I'm your host, Will Smoak. Here we go. We got some NFL storylines for the week 11. There was actually quite a bit that happened this week that I want to talk about. We got my weekly NFL power rankings, and then I'm going to go over the top five in the MVP and NBA MVP race. Let's get into it. So we're gonna start with the NFL storylines, and we're gonna do the power rankings. Then we'll talk about MVP. And let's start with the Thursday night game. The Travion Henderson breakout is here for this year. The Patriots beat the Jets 27-14 on Thursday night. That wasn't the surprise. Travion Henderson continued his breakout as Ramondre Stevenson was out and has been out for the past 3 weeks, I believe. Henderson is really taking advantage of having those extra touches on this team. And he ran for 62 yards, which wasn't super spectacular, but he had 2 touchdowns, pairing that with 5 catches, 31 yards, and the other touchdowns, scoring all 3 of New England touchdowns. And I mean, that's 3 good games in a row. I believe he scored a touchdown, or at least he scored quite a few touchdowns. He's really racking up, and he is really taking advantage of his extra touches. So, I think when Ramondre Stevenson, when he gets back, hopefully he doesn't take up some of the workload, because it'd be great if Travion Henderson can just keep this going. And this team is young, they're playing good, and I think Henderson is definitely a huge part of this run game and part of this team. So this team is so is Travion Henderson. Miami wins again. I believe this is a morning game in London. It was overseas for Mike McDaniel's firing and cleaning of the house. Get rid of all that. The GM, 4 weeks. He won a 3rd game in a row and is now 4-7. And if they win out, which would be extremely easy, but if they do, they would have a shot for the playoffs. I mean, think about it, you guys. If they win out, going from what seems like a bust and Tyreek's hurt and this team is absolutely horrible, think about it, you guys. If Miami wins out and even comes close to the playoffs, that would be absolutely crazy. However, I don't think that's going to happen, and I still want Mike McDaniel gone and the GM. I think they should still clean house, simply over the fact that I think they need new people in there and they need a new, fresh perspective, and they need to just start a new era. And prove me wrong, Miami. Bryce Young, have a day. So, if you didn't know, Bryce Young threw for 448 yards, 3 touchdowns in an overtime win versus the Falcons. First time since 2013 that the Panthers have swept the Falcons in the regular season, which kudos to them. So, also they're 6-5. The Panthers are 6-5, and they're half a game behind the Buccaneers. So they're fighting for a playoff spot as the season closes, which is huge for this team and how far they've come, especially for Bryce Young, who's labeled a bust after his first year, and how good CJ Stroud played. But they're playing good this year. Dave Canales is definitely a great coach. But as I said, the schedule is rough. They play the 49ers, the Rams, Saints, Seahawks, and Buccaneers twice. That is just a very rough schedule to play against. I think the Saints is the only easy game for not maybe the best Panthers team still, even at 6-5. But the Saints is the only easy game I see as a win. But they are passing expectations. This is phenomenal for this team to be where they are now with how the past couple seasons have gone. Also, Josh Allen, video game performance from him. I guess Josh Allen decided that he really wanted to win on Sunday after the Bills had been falling the past 2 weeks, and he threw 2 interceptions in the first half. It didn't matter. That that's just fine when you have 6 total touchdowns. Absolutely crazy. He had 3 rushing touchdowns and 3 passing touchdowns, as well as 357 total yards, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, this is the type of stuff you're doing in Madden when you're playing on rookie. A crazy game. And they beat the Buccaneers by 12. So Josh Allen really carried. They're still chasing the Patriots, but this team can be very good and keep it going. Do you think, anybody out there, you think that the Bills are going to overtake the Patriots? Are they going to come back and still win this division? Or are they gone? Okay, Chicago is on top of the NFC North. I put a little emoji by it, but the Bears got a walk-off field goal to beat the Vikings and go to 7-3. Obviously, it's been close games. They haven't been playing great, but they're 7-1 in their last 8 games. They're number 1 in the NFC North. A great accomplishment to even say that they're here, even if they don't stay here. Because Ben Johnson, in his first year, Caleb Williams, after all the questions about him, and it really worked. I expected it to work. When you compare a great and extremely talented quarterback who, if they are coachable, with a great offensive mind and I think a great leader and coach, not only that, Ben Johnson, he came from Dan Campbell, who is an extremely great leader, and I think there's great things you can learn there. But when you pair those two up, I think you get a great match, and it can work out as it is in Chicago right now, and they are hot. Jacksonville, they blew out the Chargers. It was obviously a great win from Jacksonville. I don't think it's sustainable. However, listen, they only had 153 passing yards. I still don't think Trevor Lawrence is that good. Okay? And if you want to, you can go way back in my episodes list. I made pretty much a whole episode on how I don't believe in Trevor Lawrence as much as some other people. I get that they had 192 rushing yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. That's great. But they struggled to score points against other teams, and their passing game isn't great. Jacoby Myers should help that, and I think he did. But Trevor Lawrence really hasn't been that good this year. I don't think he's that guy for this team, at least for sure. And I think they're going to be out of the playoffs by the Ravens or another team, the Texans possibly, if they fall to that. But I don't think Jacksonville, what they've been winning is sustainable, and it definitely ain't going to lead to a playoff win. The Rams win a close game with the Seahawks. Definitely lived up to the hype. Race for the division is still on, though. This is what I was talking about with Sam Darnold self-destructing. He threw 4 interceptions, and what for sure made the difference in the 2-point game. And I went back. I did watch every single interception. It was not pretty. And if you get pressure on Darnold, it goes badly. I think the Rams showed that again, as they did in the playoffs last year, and so did the Lions. The Rams, on the other hand, they can go all the way. The defense is there. They have a phenomenal defense. Jared Verse, I think everyone knows. And if you don't know, go watch him play. He is a phenomenal young player. And they have the offensive firepower to make it there. Devontae Adams is a great veteran wide receiver. You have Puka Nacua. And then you also have Matthew Stafford. So they definitely have the team to make it. Shedeur finally gets his chance. ... Dylan Gabriel went into concussion protocol. Shedeur Sanders then proceeded to go 4 for 16 for 47 yards and 1 interception. Not great for a hyped-up prospect who was, the Browns are making him not succeed. The Browns are doing this to him. He should have been picked high anyway. What is going on? what just happened? I mean, listen, Shador was not great. I definitely think he can play better, and I think he will play better. But it's gonna be a little bit, and it'll take some time for sure for him to get there. He needs to get rid of the ball more. He can't take sacks, and we'll see how it goes. However, Shador might get his first start. Dylan Gabriel may possibly be out with concussion on concussion protocol. And it's against the bad Raiders team. Like Shador, this is your chance. You're getting the start. And I think this week he should get first team reps. If he isn't, then I don't know what they're doing. But it's a bad Raiders team, and they should 100% win. Shador Sanders, this is your chance. If you don't take advantage of it, then you might actually be bust. The Broncos win. Chiefs fall to 5-5. I think everybody thought that the Chiefs were going to rebound eventually. Didn't happen. Okay. Even I thought that the Chiefs were going to rebound eventually. And if you didn't, well, take it as this. If you showed this, or if you didn't know anything about football, nothing, and just looked at standings, watched them play some this year without, the commentary or, some of the stuff like that because of the, they're going to talk, like Chris Collinsworth and stuff, they're going to talk about his MVPs and how they made the Super Bowls and everything. So if you had no reference to football, you probably wouldn't guess the 5-5 Chiefs were in the last 3 Super Bowls and really probably the favorites to go again. And that Patrick Mahomes is always in MVP conversations and that this team is highly hyped up on. I mean, everyone said one thing about the Chiefs last year. They're like one play away every single game from being like 10-7. They won all their close games. They're like 12-1 in one-score games. This year they're 0-5. That's the difference. Last year they would be like 9-1. This year they're 0-5. They haven't been doing that. And obviously Patrick Mahomes played extremely well last year in those one-score games and got his team 2 wins on those like last drives and stuff. That has not been happening this year. And this Chiefs team might miss the playoffs with Patrick Mahomes not getting injured, which would be crazy to think about. As for the Broncos, they just seem to be this year's version of the Chiefs, winning all their games by 1 score and being a slightly fake team. Random one, but I don't know why a lot of kickers missed extra points this week. Just throwing it out there. Also, this is kind of my take so far in this year. We're 11 weeks through this year, and I can confidently say the NFC is better than the AFC this year. Much more competitive. The Packers are somewhat legit contenders, and they have the 6th seed currently. Lions are out of the playoffs at 6-4. You need 7 wins or a tie to make the playoffs right now in the NFC, which is pretty crazy to even get there. I also think that more of the teams in the NFC are high contenders. Not saying the AFC doesn't have good teams, but I have more confidence in the Rams, Eagles, Packers, Buccaneers, all these teams, even the Bears, more than most of the NFC teams like the Patriots and Colts. And the Broncos have been getting fake wins, and the Chargers seem all fluky. I would still much rather take any of these NFC teams over them, even the Lions, over every single AFC team in the playoffs currently. So you can say whatever about the quarterbacks, lots of injuries, but the NFC's been better than the AFC. Let's get into my weekly power rankings. Will Smoak's weekly power rankings going 32-1. Let's get it. Number 32 is the Tennessee Titans. I mean, To be honest, I didn't watch the game. But you lost again. Kind of rough season for the Titans. Number 31 is the Raiders. They have been horrible. Gino's been bad. Listen, this is your chance. Maybe if Shador plays bad, you can really look good. And you'll be talked about. The number 30 is the Saints. Looking also pretty mid. Number 29 is the Browns. Listen, they almost beat the Ravens in what really should not have been a close game at all. And that kind of says, I'm not sure if that says, that does not say more, that says more about the Ravens than it says about the Browns for sure. Number 28 is the Jets. They've been more competitive recently. Still not great. Number 27 is the Falcons. Michael Penix tore his ACL. He's done for the year. Drake London, hurt. It's all going real bad in Atlanta. Falling off a cliff. Number 26 is the New York Giants. Can't wait for next year with Cam Scatterboo. Ooh. 25 is the Arizona Cardinals. They got blew out by the 49ers. And I had high hopes for this team this year. High hopes they have defeated. 24 is the Commanders. Very banged up. Lost to the Dolphins. This year, really just get a good pick and really reconstruct this roster for a better team next year. Number 23 is the Dolphins. I guess if you're just going to keep winning, you're just going to keep climbing. But we'll see how long that lasts. Number 22 is the Minnesota Vikings. JJ did not look as good this week. And they play the Packers next week, who have been a spectacular defense so far. That'll be a rough game, I think. Number 21 is the Cincinnati Bengals. All hopes of waiting until Joe Burrow gets back and being somewhat playoff relevant are out the window. Number 20 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know they won. I still don't like them. And Aaron Rodgers got hurt. Rough. Number 19 is the Dallas Cowboys. This team is all offense, no defense. But if you can win, I guess. Number 18 is the Carolina Panthers. They're fighting for a playoff spot. You got to throw them up here. Number 17 is the Houston Texans. This is a team that I still believe can come back and make the playoffs. It's still a long shot, but I think it's there. Number 16 is the Kansas City Chiefs. You're 5-5. They are really, really falling right now. 15 is the Los Angeles Chargers. They got beat up. This Chargers offense, without a great offensive line in front of them, no Joe Alt, no Rashawn Slater, looks very bad. We'll see how this season ends up in the long run, considering that if they manage to hold on to a playoff spot, they might lose it immediately. Number 14 is the San Francisco 49ers. I feel like I probably should give more credit than I am giving to them, considering they are 7-3. But I feel like they're a very weak 7-3 team. Number 13 is the Baltimore Ravens. Wasn't pretty. Still have won 4 games in a row, and it's really only up from here still. Number 12 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. It isn't sustainable. I said that. I know. But they're hot, and that was a great game by them still. Number 11 is the Green Bay Packers. They snuck out with a win. It should not have been that close. I don't know how it was that close. Don't know why. It's ugly. Number 10 is the Chicago Bears. It's working. It's working in Chicago. Number 9 is the Seattle Seahawks. And even with the loss, this team is still very good. They're going to get a playoff spot. And we'll see how it goes from there. I really think it depends on Sam Darnold's play. That's going to be the biggest factor because this defense is there. They have the weapons. Sam Darnold's play is going to be the big difference maker. Number 8 is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucky Irving should hopefully be back this week. That'll make a big difference. Number 7 is the Buffalo Bills. We'll see how that goes. Defense is not there. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen is spectacular. Move on. Number 6 is the Detroit Lions. They did lose to the Eagles. It hasn't been great. Maybe they will rebound. Number 5 is the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me try that again. And their offense, for all the talent they have, has not been great. Their defense is indeed good. We'll see if they can pull it together down the stretch and for the playoffs. Number 4 is the Broncos. Rough, half fake. Number 3 is the Rams. This team, it will and is legit, can make a long playoff run. Number 2 is the Colts. Coming off a bye week, keep it going. Indianapolis. Number 1 for the second week in a row is the New England Patriots. They got another win, and this team is really coming together. Now, let's talk some NBA MVP. So I'm going 1 through 5 on the NBA MVP ladder, and then my reactions and takes on each one of them. Starting off with number 1, it is Nikola Jokic. Jokic makes basketball look easy. If you don't watch the NBA, or if you are an extreme casual and haven't watched Nikola Jokic play a lot of basketball, go watch him play because he makes it's flawless and he makes it look easy. He put up 55, 12, and 6 against the Clippers. He's averaging 28, 13, and 11. He puts up triple doubles. It's literally his job, but he puts up triple doubles like he's taking out the trash. And he's one game under 20 points. Has 4 30-plus point games. He's spectacular. He's the best player in the world. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins his 4th MVP. And then maybe he can go back to his horses. Number 2 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's leading the most dominant team in the NBA. What can I say? Not only that, he's averaging 32, 5, and 6. His free throw margin or not, he's actually 5th in the league in free throw attempts per game. So there's not really too much to argue there. I mean, somewhat, but how he gets those free throws is more the debate. He has 3 games under 30 points. 3 games under 30 points. So we're talking, he just puts up 30 so consistently, it is just expected. Expected out of him. Just, Shai scored 30 points, just another average day. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins back-to-back, not only because he is scoring so many points per game, and he just does it efficiently, but the team success is there. This team can make a run at the Warriors' 73 wins, and that's where it'll go. Number 3 is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and I think most of us know, if you follow basketball, you know that Giannis is the sole reason this Bucks team is still any good. There's not much around him. Not saying that there isn't nothing, because Ryan Rollins and Miles Turner, they've been playing good, but there's not much. He continues to make this team competitive. He's averaging 31, 10, and 7. He's going to be great. He's averaging 2.1 stocks per game, steals and blocks. He's a solid defender, and there's not really much more I need to say. He's going to drive, and when he kicks out to his shooters, it opens up the lane more, and it's going to be great. He only has 4 games under 30. He's the second best defender on this team in the list of these top 5. He's going to keep the point total up. However, it's going to be hard to win with everyone around him. There's super talents, and he's not really going to have the team success to go with it. Number 4 is Luka Doncic. LeBron just made his debut. He played good. Well, listen, the scoring lies on Luka, and it's there. 34, 8, and 9. I mean, he's Jokic, but more scoring and a bit less on the rebounds and assists. And I think everyone, except for the Mavericks, know that Luka is a one-of-a-kind scorer. And while he was playing without Bron, he was great. He's playing with Bron, he was great. Luka's going to be the weapon behind this Lakers team. He's going to be in the MVP combo, and he's still searching for his first. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up leapfrogging Giannis and definitely getting his name in the mix. However, Jokic, historic season. Shea, amazing season and team success. It's just going to be tough. And on this top 5 list isn't even players like Tyrese Maxey, who's had a great season, is really leading the 76ers to a great record so far, and he's really up there. It's just tough, especially this year, to be in that conversation. Number 5 is none other than the alien Victor Wembanyama. He's different this year. Almost 3 blocks a game. If he can stay healthy, which he is, he does have a calf injury right now, he's going to win D-Boy. He is. He's averaging 26, 13, and 4. And as that says, his creation for teammates is going to be will improve and needs to improve a little bit better. But otherwise, he's developing extremely well under Pop and under this Spurs organization, which is great at developing players. So, and at 7-4, we probably won't see another player like him who can handle and shoot and is actually this good. And it's only his 3rd season. He's going to be the most wanted player for the next 10 years, and I don't think the Spurs should ever give him up unless injuries tank his career. So, Victor Wembanyama rounds out the list, and that is going to be all for today's episode. Go check out my YouTube channel at Will Smoak. Feel free to give any feedback. I'm your host, Will Smoak, signing off. Let's get it. Have a great day. Keep God first.